Welcome to the Predictive Playbook. I'm your host, as always, John Ryan, and it is Monday, August 9th, 2021. We said on this show, and actually I guess I was the one that said that the Phillies would sweep the Mets, and lo and behold, it happened. And the Phillies more than swept them. They dominated them. And they got the first win against Stroman. Kyle Gibson pitched fantastic. He's the new starter they got at the trading deadline. One of the steals of the trading deadline, in my humble opinion. And I think that we're going to see that become fact as we roar down the stretch. I also am going to start here with a summary of the markets. We have a show that Steve Merrill from WagerTalk and I started. It's gathering up some momentum, and if you have an interest or an investment in Bitcoin or any of the cryptocurrencies or futures trading, highly speculative types of stuff, then this is the show for you. So we're keeping a live $50,000 account for transparency purposes to show everybody what our record is, and so far we are doing well. And we're going to go through the positions right now and quickly, because we want to get to the baseball too. But I notice a lot of you guys out there that like this kind of stuff as well. So let me share my chart screen here. Now on the Thursday show, I introduced a Stoudemire profile, which has been around since basically the late 70s. And what it does is it measures the number of times there's a trade at a certain price. So we have price right here. And this is the amount of trades and volume that has occurred. So you can see that it makes bell curves, essentially. In this case, this is crude oil for September delivery. And we had the engulfing candle way back here, which marked the high for the contract. Classic textbook example. Engulfing candle, this should be in a textbook. Makes a new contract high, fails, and closes below 2 of the previous days. And all you need is the previous day, which it easily did. And then we chopped around. You normally get a 50% retracement of the size of this candle here, which it did right here. Made a lot of selling pressure. Went down hard. Got a little doji in here that it rallied back, but then it didn't take out the high. See how it looks like it's just kind of rolling over. So now we have, this is a hammer today for Monday. And what happens with hammers is these lows are usually retested and then some. You can pick any chart you want, any type of stock, look at Apple, Google, Facebook, any stock that you own. You can do this type of charting with. So this candle here is a pretty big day again. We opened at 67.88, traded a low of 65.15, and then rallied. And it was short covering rally. The range was $2.75. And what that means is now we're going to revisit the low tomorrow of 65.15. If we hold that low and we don't make a low, it might be a sign for us to cover our short position. Looking at Bitcoin quickly, we have, and I'm going to shorten it up. This is a long-term chart. This goes back into COVID down here, and you can see the volatility, and then here's the collapse. And then we chop around and we do these triangles, break out of it, and Steve and I both said that this was setting the stage for a move into the mid to upper 40,000 level. And today we had a big move, and pleased to say that, what does that say right there? That is high of 44,000, 46,520. So it's a big move from here to here. I don't think this gap here is really relevant, or they all say that all gaps get filled. I don't think it will, and that's the summary on that one. So now what we're going to do is we're going to see some, based on the profile here, right in this area here, we're going to start seeing the selling pressure start intensifying, and it's going to back and fill between these two levels, in my opinion. And so you want to be take profits up here, and then be a buyer down here. And if you're a long-term position trader where you're going to hold this for several years, then you're going to look to add to your position on an approach of this level in here. Okay, so low 40s to 48,000 plus is like the range, and that's it for that one. Then we have the 10-year note, and believe me, 10-year notes, everybody thinks treasuries are boring. Well, when you trade it with futures and the leverage involved, it is not. And we went short here, and we've had 4 consecutive days now. Actually, I went short on the show. I actually did the trade. I showed it because it was there. It wasn't to show off or anything. It was just to do it at a very good time. So this 10-year note trade is done very, very well. And today it traded down at 133.22. So we have about a $7,500 profit right now. Here's my buddy. Hey, Steve.
What's up, John?
Yeah, what's going on, buddy? Glad you could make it.
Yeah, it's been a pretty exciting day in the markets. I was just watching the recaps now. Yeah, they're all talking about the 10-year note now on CNBC. So, as always, they're always about 3 to 4 days late. They're the epitome of the public squares out there, the CNBC anchors and analysts. And they were also, before that, John, talking about Bitcoin for about 15 minutes and how it's at a 3-month high. And one of the buffoons on there said that I bought a little bit of the, of course, he's buying the ETF trust or whatever, because they can't explain futures to their followers. It's got to be ETFs or stocks, of course, for that viewership. He bought the Bitcoin trust or whatever that one company is, and it mirrors it. So it's like 46,000. Because he couldn't bear to see it go to 50,000 and not be involved. That was literally the analysis he just gave on TV. Because he couldn't bear to see it go to 50,000 and not be involved. And I'm thinking, well, that's pretty good.
Wow.
You know, we called it when it was at 32,000 a week ago. So yet another reason not to watch those networks. Watch us, but not those networks, because they're about as square as they come. And it's actually, all seriousness now, you know, whether it's ESPN for sports or CNBC for finance, you can get a lot of good contrarian concepts probably from watching them, because there's a lot of groupthink on those networks.
It's definitely herd mentality, no question.
Right.
You know, it's and you're right. We had this trade in the 10-year 4 days ago, and we're up like $7,200 now on that trade alone, and it was only 5 contracts. And I did that. Remember, I did that on the show.
Yes, we agreed. I mean, it was a great setup.
And here's Mr. Finn is here. He's going to have to.
I'm. Listen, guys, I'm so sorry. I must be on the wrong show.
You're definitely,
because I don't have a knife at my desk.
He's on the
it's
wrong
a Foley
segment.
knife, Tony. Tony is our resident expert of financial definitions.
Yes, I am.
So, Tony, what is short interest again?
Short interest would be a combination of a little person and Martin Short.
I think that's right.
Everybody would be interested. Everybody would be interested in that.
What's the difference between short interest and open interest?
It's only for that would be. And I guess I guess you're saying is Martin Short's a swinger. Then is that what you're saying?
I'm asking you. You are a resident expert.
Well, open. You said open interest.
Yeah, open interest.
Yeah. Well, you left out the short. It'd be short open interest, and that would be something that we really probably shouldn't discuss on a financial channel.
I personally think open interest, as it pertains to the NBA, is the Golden State Warriors' open interest in Ben Simmons.
I was about to say it would be the gates to watch Ben Simmons shoot practice free throws, free, wide open, no seats taken.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Yeah, thank you.
Steve, do you have any terms you want defined by Mr. Finn?
Nah, that was pretty good. I'm drawing a blank. I'm always amazed by Tony's creativity, so no, I think I'm good on that. I'm trying to think which ones we haven't used it. That's pretty much it.
There's a option strategy, Tony, called the Iron Condor.
Iron Condor is a good one.
Iron Condor. That would be a combination of Robert Redford and the Iron Man. Who played Iron Man? It would be
Schwarzenegger, wasn't it?
Downey Jr.
No.
Yeah, right. It's Robert Downey Jr. and
That's
Robert
right.
Redford. New movie. coming out. Nobody knows about it.
Iron Condor.
You know what I think it is?
3 Days of the Condor? Was that the name of that movie? It was a pretty good movie.
It was something like that.
3 Days of the Condor? I don't know.
I'm
One of those
going to submit
conspiracies that Trump was in.
I'm going to submit Iron Condors, plural, to the owner, Mr. Snyder, of the Washington football team, so that they can have a name.
Ooh. Oh, yeah.
Iron Condors sounds like an NFL team to me.
Yeah, you guys have heard my name. Haven't we talked about this? It's not even,
you said
Red Hogs.
Said, like,
Red
Hogs. I thought it was football. You know, like I named my dog's name Dog. We just call it Washington football.
Now, Morency and I both, Tony, Gabe Morency and I are on board with Red Hogs. We endorse it. We like the Red Tails because it had some historical significance, but then Red Hogs incorporates the 1980s offensive line.
How about Rig Hogs?
Rig Hogs would be fine. I'd be okay with that too.
Rig Hogs.
Red Hogs is definitely the go-to, and if I don't know if it's in the running or not, but I'll be disappointed if that's not. That's about the only name I'll accept. It'll be Redskins until it becomes Red Hogs. I refuse to call them football team. Football team is a holding pattern.
Hey, football! Come here, football!
It's ridiculous. Well, how about us? I mean, us as analysts, when we have to do the write-ups and stuff, like I don't think I think maybe I used them once all season, but when I had to do the analysis, like I'm not going to put the football team.
I got you.
Because it doesn't even describe which team you're talking about. First of all, it's ridiculous.
No, I know. I still call the Oakland Raiders the Los Angeles Raiders, and hell, they're not even the Oakland Raiders anymore. So it's okay, Steve. You're forgiven.
I'll give the Indians credit. At least they didn't go to baseball team for a year. Guardians is awful, but at least they made a definitive decision. Although a bad one.
I'm waiting for them to have the bobblehead day where they put the head of one of their players on one of the superheroes' bodies. I can just already see this stuff that's coming in. These owners, the circus, they'll do anything. The Barnum, Bailey, and anything to make a buck.
That's why it's hard to imagine they'd keep football team because it's not a good marketing gimmick. That is for sure.
Well, no,
it's unique.
No, not unless they have not unless they have a mascot. That's a dog, and they just call him football. Hey, football! Come here, damn it!
Yeah. Can you imagine an iron condor? Yeah, the condor bird is a threat, right?
Yes,
it's aggressive. It
I
essentially has a lot of violence associated with it.
No, it's not a bad nickname. I'm on board with that.
It has the debonair and suave look of Robert Redford, but yet it has the cross-eyed, stoned look of Robert Downey Jr. It's a good mascot.
All right, John, pull up Bitcoin before I have to run here because I know that had a big move.
All right, what this chart is here, it's our only loser. It's down $3,500 right now, but it's the Aussie dollar, and I know Las Vegas Chris would definitely say buy because of the inflation threat that we see down the road that we've talked about so often. So, more on that tomorrow with the Aussie, but I think we're going to be adding to the position.
Yeah, I was going to say I wouldn't even use the term loser yet. It's a short-term loss, but we haven't closed. It's not a loser until we close out the trade. So, I
feel the same way about Ben Simmons.
Yeah.
Well,
Aussie dollar has more upside than Ben Simmons.
Yeah, Simmons has no partners.
All right, so here's the Bitcoin. Look at that, Mr. Finn. Look at this.
Did Bitcoin take another climb?
Yes, it did.
Because I have a buddy who never leveraged. He never leverages this. He's bought everything. He started buying this when it was, 1,000, 800,000. I remember last September we were on the phone together and he was doing something. Somebody called him and said, "Tony, dude, just take whatever you got right down in your pocket and let me send it over to me and I'll invest it for you." And Bit was at about 882, and then I think by like 2 months later it was at 20. And I said, "Do you have that? Can I go ahead and cash my bid in? I know I'm not like you. I want to cash in."
My bid.
I want to cash my bid in, and he said, "Absolutely, you want to cash it in?" He said, "Yeah, how much is it worth?" He goes, "Well, it's worth $10." I said, "Well, you get $10." I said, "Well, you had $5 in the pocket, and that's what you gave me, Tony." I said, "I'll take it. Give it to me. Give it to me now."
You doubled your money. That's excellent.
Are you kidding me? Doubling your money is all you should ever try to do, and once you've done it, You know, you scream like a girl and tell them sell, sell, sell. You still sell.
Not with Bitcoin, because that means I would have left another 300% on the table if I'd had that mindset. So,
if
yeah, I mean, you got
for candy and Bitcoin, we all have a Merry Christmas.
You have a trailing stop loss. That's what you do with this stuff. And Bitcoin's a textbook example of that, as John knows, because when it went from 10 to 20, it went to 30, it went to 40, it went to 50, it went to 60, and and then it went to 30 again. But the thing is, if you'd had a trailing stop loss, you're out in the 50s. So it's
listen,
the trend is your friend in the financial markets. That's where it's a little different than the sports
are
deck.
No friends in the financial market. They are all Robert Redford playing the role of what was the con game?
Stumped.
The con game. The con movie, The Sting.
Oh, well, that wasn't really Wall Street.
No, but it was a con game.
So, John, here I got to jump in a minute. So, if you look at Bitcoin, it did once again what we've talked about. I mean, a gap opened Sunday night from that Friday close, and what's interesting, within $100, it came back down intraday to touch that gap, and now it's at a high again. So
it finished on the high, so
exactly. So I mean, that's a pretty bullish signal. Obviously, we might see a little pullback, but yeah, I definitely would not want to be short right now.
And we said on the Thursday show that upper 49,000 would be seeing intensifying selling pressure. That's what the profile is telling us now. So we're right here, and because we need to fill in this gray area.
Well, look at that gap down to the left there. If you looked at the gap about a month and a half ago, it's about to fill that long gap as well. And that was that hard sell. What day was that red one? Yeah, what day is that big red candle?
Are they taking your advice?
May 13th.
So I mean, you're talking about that's that 3 month high they were referencing today in the media. You know, it's so we'll see. The next couple of days are going to be interesting because I think long term there's a lot of upside still, but yeah, there might be a little choppiness. It's hitting a lot of key areas, like you said.
I'm too old, but I remember those. I'm too old now, but I remember those 3 month highs. They were good.
Oh, you caught me on that one.
All right, boys, I got to jump.
I didn't see that one coming.
So, John, we'll do our little Tuesday hit tomorrow to dig deeper into all this.
Yep. Around 1 o'clock, guys. It's either going to be 1 o'clock or 4 o'clock here on Manny's Pub with Steve and myself.
Because one will be perfect. I'm guest hosting WagerTalk today. Rob Veno is going to be the $2 Tuesday capper at WagerTalk, so he'll be on tomorrow.
Robbie.
And then I got the baseball show at 1:40. So yeah, let's jump on at 1 if that works for you, John. And we'll knock.
That does.
Absolutely.
WagerTalk today tomorrow.
I'll see you, Tony. Be good, John.
Thanks, guys. Tomorrow? Bye, Steve.
See you, Steve. I think he was trying to say goodbye, Tony.
I know he was, but that's too bad.
You know, it's Monday. He has.
I know. Steve,
he has plans.
He's got plants.
Plans. PLANS. Like
we all have plans. I have plans.
Having dinner on Mondays, like I do. You know.
Yeah. Dinner. You can eat dinner when you're dead. There's no time for that.
Yeah.
I need a bottle opener. I need a bottle opener because I was just gifted a beer called the Big Wave. Have you ever heard of the Big Wave?
Yeah. That's a good. Yeah.
Is it good?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's light. It's one that you can drink all day, and
it's a golden ale, so I'm assuming it's a wheat, or something like that.
Yeah. Well. Yeah, it'll be a little weedy, but yeah, it's tasty.
No, wheat,
it's like
wheat,
like Miller Lite on steroids.
Okay, that's great. It's brewed. It must be a competitor of Adolph's because I saw this brewed in Fort Collins, home of the Colorado State Rams.
Yeah, well, that's good.
So if you graduated from Colorado State, you're probably quite familiar with the Big Wave. I thought it'd be brewed in Hawaii with that name, but it's not.
There is one that's brewed in Hawaii that has a similar name.
Yeah. Little Wave?
Kona Brewery, I think it's called.
That's what this one is. This is the Kona Brewery, but it says here it's the Kona Brewing Company, Fort Collins, Colorado. Fort Kona Brewing Company, Kona, Hawaii. So it's just they have a brewing, they have a outlet or a they have a whatever they call it, satellite in Fort Collins. Yeah.
I mean, they probably save a lot of money on the travel of the beer to get it to market because there's probably not enough people in Hawaii to justify that.
What? Hawaii, a lot of people don't.
Well, yeah, but I mean, if you're gonna brand beer,
yeah. You're gonna get a bunch of drive-bys on your Twitter now. Tell them there's nobody in Hawaii. You're in trouble. You're in trouble.
I'm just trying to get that geography assigned to our analytics. That area of the world. I want to increase the number of followers.
Listen, my geography is bad. I can never ever. Somebody says, "Hey, where's this? Where's that?" They say, "Hey, I don't know. Where is Atlantis?" And I said, "I don't know." They said, "Well, I need to know where Atlantis is." I said, "My geography's not very good." So there you go.
Hey, the chat room's pretty busy. I wasn't paying attention here because I was talking about Bitcoin and everything, but this is one of our loyal followers, Nick Cub Sports. He actually has his own podcast too.
Oh man, and, he's talking. Love seeing the similarities between the both markets. The bull and the bear and the
the sports betting market and financials.
I like that. Okay, Nick Cub Sports. I like that. I like that. The similar thing is that you can win and you can lose. And Rob Veno is here to make sure that you succeed.
Well, the Mets certainly didn't.
Well,
one of us said last week that the Phillies were going to sweep them.
Somebody said, I think 2 weeks ago, to buy the Phillies at 7,000. And did somebody say that?
Yeah, it was you. It was actually you.
And somebody else said something about maybe just go ahead and get a division. It was like, wasn't it like 3,000?
I thought 24-1. I thought, but it could have been
2,400. Okay. Well, but guess what? I put I put some, as you would term it, I put a little pizza money on it. Now I'm wishing that I would have put some Outback money on it or something. You know, instead of some Pizza Hut. I should put some
Outback money.
Well, better. Have you been to Outback lately?
Oh, I love Outback.
Well, tell me that you got an Outback with your not having to wash dishes, and you spent by yourself less than $70.
It's a restaurant I haven't gotten flagged at.
Flagged? You mean like penalized?
I mean, it's hard to get thrown out of an Outback.
Well, you haven't been in my neighborhood, then you can get thrown out pretty easy any place you go.
They have the best porterhouse. I forget the name of it.
When we had that, when we went to the, when we went kind of that, I'm not talking about the COVID. I'm talking about when we went into that little bit of that where we were bailing out the banks and and we kind of hit that I call it a, let's call it a Barack Obama depression. And we were bailing out the banks, and it was, do you remember that they completely changed their menu? And I went in, they changed their menu, and they went from the thickest, juiciest, best-looking steaks to, man, I just saw that at Price Chopper or at that's not thick enough. You throw it on the grill and it's well done. 2 seconds, it's well done. That doesn't work.
So, Rob, to get you caught up, and welcome to the show. We were talking about Bitcoin and crude oil and that little trading account that Steve Merrill and I have. That's real, and we publish our trades.
How you guys doing?
As part of that segment, we asked Tony Finn what Iron Condor meant to him, and he gave an outstanding answer. But I only brought it up because, as Barry here in the chat room says, he likes that name Condor. So I think I'm going to send it to Mr. Ed Snyder, owner of the Washington, the football team. Right? And? It's the football team. So it's the Washington, the football team.
No.
And suggest Iron Condors should be their mascot. Hey. I mean, that'd be better than the Philly Fanatic.
Hey, football. Come here, football. Hold on, brother.
The football team's not even plural. They gotta change it. Tony's got nice furniture in there, doesn't he? Other than the sweep by the Phillies, how was your weekend, Rob?
Weekend was good, John.
Good.
Yesterday, actually, one down note. I mean, I had the Braves run line up 5-3, top of the ninth, 2 outs, 2 strikes. And Ryan Zimmerman then doubles into the gap to make it a 5-4 final. But that aside, it's been really, really good. Good enough for WagerTalk to get me to be the $2 handicapper for tomorrow. So I think last 30 days
awesome.
at WagerTalk, it's been number one the last 30 days over at WagerTalk in Major League Baseball. So, like I say, for the season to start to turn around now was great for me because it was a disaster early on. But, there seems to be a ton of separation in baseball right now, guys.
Okay,
and
sorry, guys. Thanks.
to Tony's real quick, with the Phillies, I was just looking over at the revised numbers. How about minus 134 now to win the division? Plus only plus
hedge,
500
hedge. Yeah.
to win the NL and 1250 to win the NL and 2500 to win the World Series. Those are way lower than what they were earlier.
Arbitrage. Arbitrage.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
What?
So go get the Mets.
That great word.
Arbitrage.
Arbitrage.
Man, I don't know. It's just so it just comes naturally to me. Words. By the way, I am yeast intolerant, so I have to with this.
Congratulations.
Yeah, with this beer, I have to get a little lactose and mix it so it dilutes the yeast.
I think that the Iron Condor could have been this guy, Chuck Williams. He
Copyrighted.
He averaged 27 points for the Pittsburgh Condors of the ABA in 1971.
I like it.
There you go. It's
Remember
not just an
Pittsburgh
option
Condors,
strategy. It's not just an option strategy. It has a lot of history behind it, the Iron Condor does.
Yes, sir. 3 days of the Iron Condor.
That's a great movie.
It is a good movie. I like conspiracy movies. What's your boy's favorite adult beverage? That would be, it depends on what year and whether she's still alive. But several different. I have several different favorite adult beverages that I wish I could just drink up. My wife might be listening, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean.
Well, I mean, everything's done in moderation in your household.
Everything is done in moderation. What? Obsessively.
Excessively.
Yes.
Yes, that means you're at 50% the whole time with your endeavors.
I do everything in moderation, excessively, and it's really a good way to live. I'll tell you right now.
Here's a better one. In 1968, the leading scorer for the Pittsburgh Condors was Connie Hawkins with that wingspan. So
there you go.
Connie Hawkins could have certainly been the Iron Condor.
Yes, he could have been. 1968 was a good year.
I like it.
Denny McClain had a decent year. I had a pretty good year in '68. It was my last year of seeing the Charles Finley in his circus act at Municipal in Kansas City, and of course, there was the Detroit Tigers and their manager, Sparky Anderson. Oh, maybe not, but soon.
And Joe Willie.
Yes.
Super Bowl.
Yes. And doing what any man wearing pantyhose can do. And that is, we're going to win, bitch. That's what he said.
I think he did.
That's right.
And he said, I'll take the 16 and a half.
Yeah. What? A money line.
Oh, that's right. I guess I'll never be an Iron Condor.
Yeah, well.
Oh, well.
I do have...
Daniel Snyder's never listened to anyone but himself. Ever.
And I said Ed Snyder, which was the Flyers owner back in the day, so I apologize for that mistake. But you're right. Daniel Snyder needs to change the name.
Well, now, how about the Cleveland Guardians, who copied the name of a women's team?
Yeah. And also, the Guardians, aren't they like a bunch of superheroes too? I told them they're gonna have bobbleheads with I don't know. How about who's your favorite Cleveland Indian? And not Virgil Almar.
Manny Ramirez.
Oh, Manny, that's a good answer. I thought you were gonna tell me like something like Plesac. We're gonna have a superhero with Plesac's head on it, and they're gonna call him the Plesac Man. It's gonna be a great story.
Yep.
Yeah.
The football team doesn't cut it.
Oh.
But if you stack Guardian, like type out Guardian and then put Indians underneath it. Guardians and Indians. There's only 4 letters different, and it's the first 4. So the logo could actually still be red, white, and blue, like the Indians logo was. And
yeah.
Yeah, but there's a real issue here. They may not be the Guardians for long because I knew there was an issue. They copied the exact logo of a Cleveland roller derby team.
Why would they? Do they not know that we live in the age of digital? Everybody knows everything. You can't even use 2 words out of a 20-word sentence, or you are plagiarizing someone.
They plagiarized pretty good here.
Yeah.
And by the way, roller derby was fantastic in the 70s.
It was on one of the 3 channels I had on Saturday mornings. One of the 3 channels.
Yep.
Once cartoons were over, it was get it on time, ladies.
Yep, elbows to the head, flying over the railing.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah. And the prettiest girls I've ever seen, ever in my life.
I was focused on the talent of the sport.
Oh yeah, well, that's why I keep asking the question: why are the volleyball players on hardwood not wearing the same thing as the girls on the sand? I think it's a discrimination, and I think it's wrong. I think it's wrong.
Oh, there's definitely less cost with the uniforms that are worn on the beach.
Yes.
Definitely less cost.
Yes. Those girls, listen,
that could save universities a lot of money.
Those are nothing. They're wearing nothing anyway. Those girls will be quite comfortable playing in nothing. Of course, most of them wouldn't have to worry about getting hit upside their head with their humongous breasts, because I sometimes mistake these girls for something other than they're tall and lanky and pretty, and I like the uniforms.
Oh, dear Lord.
Yep, moving on to the MLB Play of the Day. All right.
Okay.
Do I have one?
Yeah. I have an ESPN affiliate, college football / beach volleyball preview to do here very quickly. So let's get it on.
Yep. Make sure
All right.
ESPN knows about massive breasts.
My angle of the day for Monday, August 9th, is to bet on the Kansas City Royals.
Okay.
And you're going to bet on home teams using the money line, that's supposed to say, facing a visitor that has posted an anemic .320 on base percentage, which the Yankees have somehow done. And our guest, who is the Yankees, is coming off a game in which 2 or fewer runs were scored, and they were shut out by a left-handed pitcher in Koichi, I think is his name, yesterday by Seattle, and Carlos Hernandez just happens to be a lefty. Now for the season, the Yankees are 21-20 against left-handers, so I do think presently, though, with that lineup, they are left-handed pitching vulnerable. And the last part of this is, I guess, coming off, he already said that, with the 2-0 score, 2 runs scored in total. So you're 75-32, 71% last 5 years, 115 favorite, and making a $100 better, a $3,900 profit over those 5 years. So my stuff says to bet the Kansas City Royals and Wyatt Chapman, Russian River Pinot Noirs, and West Coast IPAs. That's my answer for the favorite adult beverage.
Tequila, mezcal, Wyatt, mezcal.
I like remaining upright as long as I can when I'm partying.
Well, what is your goal then when you go partying? Because my goal is to not stay upright. The longer I stay upright, the worse time I'm having. It's
all about moderation, Tony. It's you gotta pace yourself. You gotta pace yourself.
I do excessively.
So Well, that's the first game. We have a short card today, so this is the best bets segment. So we'll go to we'll let Tony bring up the anchor today, and we'll do Tony Finn next. Ooh. I don't know what Steve Merrill's bet for the show was. I think it was. I think he was saying that we're better than CNBC and we're better than ESPN combined.
I don't know.
I think that's what he said.
I don't know, but Steve's starting to get carried away. It's like that show, that money show. What's that guy? What do they call that show? That guy's he's pretty brash.
Kramer.
Loud, yeah.
Kramer
Versus Kramer. I know that show.
Yeah, that was Mad Money.
Mad Money.
About the show Mad Money. Yeah.
I am.
Now when he first started, I was up there, and he wasn't too well liked.
No,
it
was. Wasn't.
It was too. It was just too over the top.
Yeah.
And he started the Street.com, and then he's kind of settled down now, and he has one hell of a niche. I mean, the guy's made several boatloads, aircraft carriers of money working with CNBC.
Yeah, never had to invest a dime, just time.
He did run a charity portfolio that was real, and he would disclose what he had that particular stock in that fund.
Yeah.
But I don't. Unfortunately, I don't watch the show enough because I don't have the time.
I know this
because it's football season, and I look at football materials now. So
I know this. If I have that position, I'm doing that show, and I have those kind of connections and sources on the ceiling street, then I can promise you I got some insider information. I promise. I do. You don't believe me?
Here's our buddy Max on record. Thank you, Max. He's the guy that absolutely despises that DeChambeau guy who collapsed on the back nine.
Well,
I might add, yesterday, and so did Harris English, which was very shocking. Very shocking.
It's hell having to carry your own clubs because you pissed your jockey off so bad.
And here's a recommendation for Tony.
Yeah. Ganja? That's
Jamaican stuff, isn't it?
Yeah, listen, that stuff's not strong enough for me. I got strong shit.
Yeah, okay.
I got stuff in the Golden Triangle. I had the Bahama stuff. Give me the Golden Triangle ganja. Sprinkle a little bit of purple California opiate. I mean, something like that, yes.
I have no clue to what he just said, Rob, but you have any games you like tonight?
Thank God he went that direction with Golden Triangle. I thought he was going somewhere else. Oh, dear Lord. Listen, I'm going to use the same exact game you have, John, but in a different way. I played Kansas City Yankees under 5.5 runs first 5 innings. I like a lot of what your angle said because it kind of supports where I went with this, but the Yankee lineup injuries right now are insane. Yeah. Not only did we have Anthony Rizzo over the weekend on the COVID list, but now we get Gleyber Torres with an MRI, his hand sliding into second base yesterday, unavailable. So you have Gary Sanders.
Is he unavailable? Is he? Did they announce that?
It's what I saw about 30 minutes ago.
Okay. I saw earlier today, I saw him, a guy that sends me projected lineups, had him in the lineup. Doesn't mean that it doesn't mean he is. It's just what he projects. And typically he's pretty good. But I'm curious because I heard someone else today tell me they had 4 regulars out of their lineup, and I didn't see that.
And there's, in fairness here, real quick for everybody watching, there is no Yankee lineup posted as of yet. The Royals lineup is in. The Yankee lineup is not.
Let me see if I got another email. But I'm Rob. I don't. And he puts it out long before the official lineup comes. But he just takes. It's a puzzle to him, and he has certain. Some of those. Whatever Johnny Carson did, those envelopes. He has those envelopes.
Yeah, hermetically sealed.
Yep.
Real quick here, John. Sanchez, Rizzo, Urshela, even if we put the question next to Torres, but I believe I read that the MRI, while it wasn't negative, was going to hold him out tonight. And
okay, you're right. You're right. He took him out of the line. He took him out of his lineup. And let me just real quick, tell me if this is wrong. LeMahieu, Judge, Gallo, Stanton, Voit, Wade, Odor, and then Higa and Gardner.
Wow.
Catcher in the center fielder. Yeah, and I don't see that posted yet, so he's ahead of everybody with that.
Okay.
But that sounds absolutely realistic, Tony.
Okay. All right.
Absolutely realistic. So what we have here is a little bit of a deteriorated Yankee starting lineup against Carlos Hernandez, who, by the way, his last couple of starts, while he's not fully stretched out yet because he hasn't really been a full-time starting pitcher, but his last 2 starts, 6 and 5 innings against the White Sox lineup, really, really impressive. Certainly as good a better lineup than what he'll face with the Yankees here tonight. This Yankee lineup has a lot of holes in it as far as strikeouts are concerned. But the other side of that coin is Jameson Taillon, who's been really good for a while now. Over the last half dozen or so starts, been really good. To me, the starting pitching has a huge edge here, first 5. I don't want to get involved with bullpens. Obviously, Aroldis Chapman is on the DL. KC's mediocre at best. So I'll shave the last 4 innings out of this game. But the reason why I played was when I saw 5.5. I just thought 5.5 was too high here. I think you can get away with a 3-2 after 5 innings and cash at the ceiling being 3-2. Because I think you can get even lesser scoring out of these 2 lineups against these 2 pitchers. So for me, at this price, John, I think it was minus 120 when I played it, 15 or 20, but I think I saw as high as 25 later on in the day toward the under. The VIG has been shaded heavily toward the under here, so I wouldn't be surprised if it comes down to 5. Under 5.5 runs, first 5 innings. Yanks, Royals tonight. Don't know the home plate umpire, and you know me, Tony. I hate to play totals where I don't have the home plate umpire ahead of time. But I'm going to risk it here.
I'm going to play. How about this? How about we play a little good cop, bad cop?
Sure.
I'll be contrary to. I'll say this. I'll say,
who's who?
Well, he's a good cop. I'm always the bad guy.
All right. I just wanted to make sure the new listeners know that.
Ask anybody that lives in this house; they'll tell you I'm the bad guy. Now, 85 degrees, 85, 90 degrees at first pitch. Feels like 105, 110 in Kansas City. Humid and muggy conditions they're somewhat relieved by the 15-mile-an-hour wind that's blowing out to center field. Now, Kansas City, the K, is one of those venues. There's a handful of venues where the metrics, bad ball metrics, it's almost exponential when the wind is 15 miles it's that way because of the way the K is laid out, where I-70 lays behind it and it's wide open. And when the wind's blowing in, the wind comes hard right from the north there, right into home plate. And when it's blowing out, it both comes in through there and then circles around to the backstop or back by plate, and then it jets out to center field. So if you see wind in Kansas City in the K and you say, well, it's only a 5-8 mile, the wind is significant. Where it's blowing at the K is significant. So onward. Taillon, since he made the move to New York, boy, can I start singing to that beat? That's a good beat you got going on there, brother. So Taillon, he's moved from being a ground ball to a fly ball pitcher since arriving in New York. How much so? Well, first off, this is due to a switch in the 2 to 4 seam pounding on the keyboard thing. It happens. The 2 to 4 seam heavy arsenal. Now, when he came to New York, they said, "Listen, we don't want you throwing that 2-seamer. We need you to increase your K percentage, your K per 9. We want you to increase it, okay?" So what's he do? He changes it. He changed from what he throws basically was a 2-seam, and now he throws a 4-seam. What's that done? He has actually increased his strikeouts, 8.8 K9, and he's got a 2.8, BB/9, and that's across 21 starts, 107 innings in 2021. His 4.73 FIP, it's a little bit. Listen, that's suppressed a little bit by his 282 BABIP. It suppresses ERA. But all things equal, the underlying peripherals for Taillon are right where his history points. Opposing hitters have barreled Talion, though, at the highest percentage of quality contact. This is per StatCast. The righty is allowing 40% hard contact, 40% quality contact. And last year's 27% fly ball rate is now a 47% fly ball rate. Now, that 47% is a huge jump from his year in and year out stats, at least career stats. He was a 32% career guy, and now he's at 47%. Now his K rate's jumped. Like I said, he's walking a few more batters, but at 7.2, that's not bad. A year ago, 7.2. Now I think it's 5%. So that said, but the ground balls versus the mid 40s fly balls are troubling, and while negative regression hasn't set in yet. On this, he still has allowed 16 home runs on the season over that 100 and what I say it was 107 innings. Yeah, 16 home runs. Now, here's the problem: we're in the dog days of August. So, and like I explained, this Italian, he's been a blessing to the Yankees, considering they haven't gotten very good pitching. But my concern is this, and that is. You mentioned Hernandez, for instance, and Hernandez. Listen, he does well when he appears poised on the hill. When he's struggling with his command, as you mentioned, Rob, he looks really vulnerable. And his 4 starts this season finds him allowing only 2 home runs, right? In 17.2. His longest outing was 6 frames. You mentioned it in a win over the White Sox. Really a good game, right? A game that was an outlier, though, I think, for who Anders is. Against the Sox, he surrendered 4 hits. No runs, walked just 1. And despite walking just 1 in 6 innings against the Sox, in the other 3 turns, 11 innings, he's surrendered 8 earned runs, he's walked 8, and struck out 14. The Tigers recorded 5 earned runs on Hernandez with just 2 hits. That's because he had 4 walks in 2.2. Now, he hits 100 on the radar gun all the time. So here's the deal. 15-mile-an-hour wind blowing out to center field. Hernandez facing a Yankees lineup that isn't what it could be, and they open this game at a 9.5 with Hernandez coming off what you said is an outstanding performance against the White Sox. And Talion having surface numbers that are more than acceptable. I don't know who the home plate umpire is, but unless it's Will Little, I'm over. I'm on the over. So there's my counter to you. But everything you said is correct, Rob. It is. It really doesn't make much sense, right? But something's fishy in Kansas City on the Missouri River.
You got full game over, or you got first 5 over?
Full game
You got
over.
full game over.
Mostly because
I can see that happening. I think both you guys could win.
Hey, if that happens, you're buying.
Yeah, I mean, you could be up to 5 runs after 5 innings and cash your under and then get another 5 in the last.
How about this? Sure. How about having?
Here's what you do. Not to interrupt you guys, but take Rob's bet first, and bet that pre-flop, and then assuming that he's going to be right, the runs are going to be 4, 3. At the 5th inning. So when it gets to be the 4th inning and the score is 2-1, 1-0, something like that, you'll get an incredible deal on the game over.
You're right. Let me ask you this though: what happens if they score 5? What happens if they score 5 in the top of the 1st? What do I do? Because I just lost my pre-flop and I got no 9.5 to get anymore.
Well, you didn't lose your pre-flop yet. You got to
get it's 5.5.
Well, yeah, you're right. But guess what? If I have 5 in the top of the 1st and I have to get goose eggs for 4 innings, it's gonna take more than Sister Teresa and the.
If you're looking long term and you have Tony's full game over 9.5 and there's 5 scored in the top of the 1st, you're
feeling
probably going to get under 13.5 or 14.
Yeah.
And you're going to have a hell of a middle.
Yeah, that's a good point too.
But I didn't know. I thought what John said was bet your pre-flop the 5, the first 5.5, and then wait to get the full game when when I could get 10 or 10.5 or 11 as opposed to 9.5 with just a run or two in the first couple innings. That's what I thought John was suggesting.
That's exactly right.
See, but the problem with that is if they score 5 in the first, then my 9.5, 10, 10.5 is gone, and I've probably a pretty good chance I am going to be paying the piper for the 5.5 first half play.
Listen, bet them both pre-flop, lose them both, and when the Twitter drive-bys come, go right to Tony. I'm going to take my account down.
Yeah. Listen. I called Robert Downey Jr. and he has taken care of my Twitter. He's got like these shields up, iron Twitter.
Nice. I like that. That sounds good too.
Hey,
I just in Hernandez's case, it's not only one start against the White Sox. He backed it up with 5 innings and 2 hits the next time around as well. Got them both times, and the White Sox were getting healthier as well. We've seen it, right? The White Sox have gotten healthier.
You want to talk about that? Let's talk about yesterday's. I had a big play, 10 under 10. Last night in that Cubs and White Sox game, and for the most part, two things happened yesterday. First, 3 things happened yesterday, guys. Correct me if I'm wrong, or tell me I'm an idiot or crazy or a lunatic or I have smoked too much ganja before the show. Any will do, and I wish I'd done them all. But here we go, and this is what happened. The Cubs kicked the ball around. Let me tell you right now, everyone listening, it doesn't matter if you're a Cubs fan. This is something you have to kind of, ingest and somehow digest without it hurting or stinging too badly. And that is, these Cubs don't give a crap right now. They don't care. They got down 5-0 in 2 minutes yesterday, and they were still laughing and joking out in the outfield, and they don't care. They're kicking balls around. Before Javi Baez left, this is a guy who's a Gold Glover. I saw him kick a ball, the same ball, on the same play twice. Threw it, caught it, dropped it, kicked it, threw it, dropped, cut, kicked it. They don't care. And the White Sox are getting healthy. Guess who comes back today for the White Sox?
Luis Robert.
You're right. Now, here's a problem too. White Sox have a what I call, as John likes this word, conundrum. They have a conundrum. And here's a conundrum. Their best pitcher pitched last night, and nobody knows it. Cease is their best pitcher. If I give you his metrics, his analytics. Now, they've been very careful because he's young, and he had a problem translating. He had a problem, he was a thrower. He had a problem understanding the science of pitching. So they took it really slow with him. But long story short is that this guy's stuff is electric. I mean, if there's no one on base, he's almost unhittable with that. It's not really a splitter, but that slider and that curve he has, those things are. He's finally got a separation, so he can tell the difference between the two. But they're just crazy good, and this kid's going to be. This is the best pitching staff, not just in the American League, but it's the best pitching staff in baseball right now. And I'm giving Lance Lynn a big hug and a big kiss, a wet kiss, because I think he's out pitching his. I think last year he was out pitching him. I think he has this year too. You can't tell Woodruff that he went in there and outdueled Woodruff, right? But he's never been who he is right now or last year, and I still think that if it's a one-hit wonder, then I think you're in a dynasty league. You might want to sell. You want to sell Lance, this year before the season's over. But correct me. Tell me that. Well, let's take Keuchel. He's out of the mix. He's in the 5-man. You take Keuchel out, guys. You take him out. Here's the problem, though. I think you have to take Rodon out and use him in the relief role. I think Cease is the best pitcher they have. Either that or Lance Lynn comes out, and Cease is part of that 3-man playoff rotation. Right now, they can hit the ball with any team in baseball, even the Astros, who we can see they're kind of already relaxing a little bit, even though they don't have a big lead over Oakland. They're already relaxing, resting Altuve. They get beat 3 out of 4 by many,
Yeah.
Right. But they're still they're still the Astros, and I still think that I've been giving the Astros a lot of credit, and I've been saying I don't like this White. There's something about this White Sox team I don't like. Well, after watching Cease the last 3 times, last night in particular, while the 2 runs they scored, or the 3 they scored, he gave them to him. He was up so much. One was a pass ball. One he bounced in front of the catcher. He couldn't stop it, and they hit the ball with they squared everything up. Now there was a batting practice pitcher on the mound for the Cubs, but this is a dangerous team. They have one hole that they have to fix, and they are a good performance by their third pitcher. Their third in that row, whether it's Cease, whether it's Rodon, whether it's Lynn, whether it's everybody,
Giolito.
Yeah, right. Here's the deal, and Giolito's tonight's got a nice setup too. But long story short, tell me I'm wrong. There's only one hole they have to fix. One hole they have to fix, and I have the answer to that one too. But no one will listen to me. And what hole is that?
I probably
17th?
have a different one.
No. Well, the 17th hole? No, it's not 17th hole. If anything, it would be the 19th hole. But go ahead.
I probably have a different one, and I bet this team 2 weeks ago to win the AL because I thought they were going to be better than Houston. But the only difference I saw, the only hole I saw they had to fill was Houston is the number 1 defensive team, fielding team.
Yes.
In major, and the White Sox weren't close. They went out and got Cesar Hernandez, who is not a great fielder, but when they lost Madrigal, the second base had been a disaster for them. You go around their infielders' fielding percentages. When you really dig deep, and you see they're not as good as Houston. Double play combination is as good, but it's better, and it might be good enough at this point in time. I would say one concern that everybody would like to have that they have right now is they got to make a decision on the closer here. Tony La Russa cannot just sit here and go, they're all going to get opportunities. Listen,
guess what?
What? Go ahead.
There's your hole.
And it's not even a hole, but it's
Tony
got to be made.
La Russa.
Oh yeah, I would say that as well. He's the
That's
one problem with the team.
In fact, if we trade out Dave for Tony, we still got a hole.
Well, if they
Which is a bigger hole, Davey Roberts?
Oh, there's no doubt about that. Tony's a bigger hole.
Yeah.
Than Davey Roberts?
Oh, Davey Roberts is a nice guy.
Wow.
Tony is not.
Oh, yeah. I thought we were talking about managerial skill.
No, Tony got pulled over, and so do you not know who I am? Well, yeah, I know who you are. You're an old fart that used to know how to catch a baseball, and now you can't even drive straight. Your son's a itch. That's just. Do you not know who I am, son? I know who you are. Yeah, but
that's his attitude. I mean,
it is.
I've spoken with guys inside the game, a couple of players who said he would have been the worst guy, the last guy they would choose to play for.
Yeah.
He's along the lines of Bobby Knight, Greg Popovich, all these bully assholes.
Not taking a bullet for you. Never taking a bullet for you.
They get guys to come in and just, they get a certain type of player that, won't rebel. I mean, those type of guys couldn't handle a diverse roster that a lot of other guys have had to handle. They handle very, very good. But anyway, La Russa would be the whole tone. Here, I'll say this. Dylan Cease, extremely highly touted when he got to the White Sox and is just hitting his potential now. Carlos Rodon with that wipeout slider, extremely highly touted. Now he's hitting his potential. Lucas Giolito in the trade with the Nationals when he came over was the prize of the trade.
Yeah.
Highly touted.
Yeah. Listen, and that's what I said. So maybe you're right. Maybe, I don't know. But I'm having Cease. I want that 97-mile-an-hour four-seam that he has, that he can make that go any way, anywhere he wants. And in 2 years from now, brothers, Dylan Cease is – we'll look back this say, man, you remember we were trying to talk Terrible Tony into getting Cease into that three-man playoff rotation? Well, they didn't win. They lost because of La Russa, and we were right about Dylan Cease.
Well, and here's and I don't think you have to – the way these games are lined up in playoff situations, they're so close together that a three-man rotation, you're throwing on short rest. I mean,
Yes.
managers go to three-man rotation in Game 6 and Game 7 when they're in a desperation mode. They want to close something out. With the White Sox, you can't take Rodon out because he's the only lefty. So you have to leave him in. He's the only lefty in there. And I still think you can have all four to start a series. Game 1, Game 2, Game 3, Game 4. See where you're at Game 6. If you have to pitch somebody on short rest, you do. But he's got to make a decision on this closer. Kimbrel's been a closer all his life.
Yeah.
Liam Hendricks was actually a setup guy before he was a closer.
Well, now Liam Hendricks isn't even a setup guy. Now he's a seventh inning guy. He's the Herrera of the Royals, the 2015. You're right, but you didn't trade. You didn't give what you gave for the Stork
Kimbrel.
to not close. In my
Right,
opinion.
Absolutely, Tony.
Right.
This guy's got to make a firm decision. Kimbrel's my closer.
Yeah.
Hendricks and that Aaron Bummer coming from the other side. You've got two good arms for the eighth inning. They've got a ton of weapons, and they've got pitchers that can get you into the sixth inning.
Yeah, Tony Russo forced his way. He knew what he had in this team, and he basically went in there and started bad mouthing this and that, and said, "I can do this with my eyes closed, left-handed, and no matter what happens during the regular season, I do know the extra inning rules, but I'm going to act like I don't."
That was pretty bad.
I agree. I mean, I couldn't believe the hire when it happened.
Yeah.
We see him, just on a funny note, we see him barely able to run. Go out to the field and attack a catcher like he wanted some. And I'm thinking to myself, God, I wish Pedro Martinez was still playing so he could roll him around the way he did.
You're so right.
Somebody should have hit that guy.
Somebody
should have and stopped him in his tracks but that's the person he is. At least publicly.
And
he's just
I liked it the other night when he came out and he was about ready to start yelling and screaming. And he said, "Hold on just a second. I need to take my teeth out." And he took his teeth out. Then he started yelling.
Well, at least he took his teeth out first.
The White Sox to win the AL. That's where I'm at. It was plus 380 a couple of weeks ago. I don't know what it is now. You couldn't play them to win the division because the price was obnoxious.
Yeah.
And they have every opportunity to win a World Series, that team. What the heck?
Well, they do, but there's some serious issues with La Russa, in my opinion, so we'll see.
Yes.
Oh, big
Imagine
time.
that World Series. Where you going, Tony, in that World Series? If it's White Sox Dodgers, where you going? Oh, his headsets are off.
Last question for the show.
Okay. I just heard. I swear that there was some somebody's yelling FBI. That's why I took the headset, and then I realized that my neighbors have they're having a little skit in their backyard, and they're doing it with the megaphone.
Nice.
Go ahead. Ignore them.
Bryce Harper, National League MVP. Yes or no?
No, absolutely no way, Jose. No way.
He's batting 302.
We really, hey, Rob, we've got.
Castellanos is the guy, though, I guess, right?
We really have to talk to John about this Philly bias he has.
They're on top of the world right now, but we'll see. The schedule.
He's hotter than hot. He's third in the National League in batting average.
Yeah.
No, he's not. Let me pull this up here first. The National League batting average. So he is seventh now. And not too long ago, he was nowhere close to batting 300.
Oh, okay.
He doesn't have enough home runs because at the beginning of the season they didn't get many guys on base, but now they are.
Well,
listen,
I just thought I'd throw it out there.
That's fine. I'll tell you. I know you'll think I'm crazy, probably, but right off the top of my head, there's 5 guys I would vote for before Harper, but right now I'd vote for a guy that's not even playing. Well, I think he's back. I think he might be back today, or he's close. That's Nick Castellanos.
Yeah, he's back.
Yeah, he's a stud.
Yeah.
back over the weekend. He makes all the difference in the world in that lineup.
Oh, well,
but if they don't make the playoffs, he's not winning.
No, I know.
MVP.
Well, probably not. And here's the deal with that. And if they didn't have, they got a little stronger. They did get a little stronger in the bullpen recently. But if they didn't have the worst bullpen in the world,
right,
I would be taking them seriously.
Now they get Lucas Sims back tonight.
Right. Yes.
Finally.
Yes.
But they lost Brad Brock, I think, went on the IL.
Okay.
He'd been pitching lousy anyway. Yeah. But yeah, the bullpen's the question, and San Diego feels them because they're only 2.5 behind San Diego. For
I don't want. I like Bryce Harper. I like Harper, but I might vote for Jesse Winker before I vote for Bryce Harper.
Well, he's had a hell of a year.
Yes, he has, hasn't he?
He's had a hell of a year.
Yeah.
He's had, and if he didn't get hurt, I mean, the front runner by far would have been Tatis Jr. But he got hurt.
Yeah, and I want to tell you all right now. I don't know how you feel about this, John, Rob, but I have a feeling. The conundrum that San Diego has is that I think I think they'd prefer to do a season ending with him. However, where they're at, what the money is, what they did at the trade deadline, what they did at the beginning of the season or last 2 seasons, what they have done with some of their farmhands, and give so that they can't. But you know, if you take Tatis and is there any risk of him further injuring himself so that it affects his long-term production, then you're making a mistake by bringing him back so you can be a wild card team. Just my opinion.
I'd say, Saturday when we were on with Joe, Tone, I said it to them. I think that whole Tatis coming out Friday night and saying his shoulder feels better and he's ready to come back, to me, it reeks of desperation, knowing this team is right on your ass. And there's a real good possibility if he doesn't play anymore that Cincinnati passes them. I'll say this. If Blake Snell is only going to throw the months of August and September the way he threw yesterday, then they've got a chance to hang on. Because
Absolutely.
Blake Snell was every bit of Blake Snell yesterday.
I never had one doubt that Blake Snell would return to being Blake Snell. I think last year was a bad year for me, bad year for a lot of guys, and a bad year for a lot of players, and it screwed up a pitcher, certain pitchers. Pardon me. It screwed them up. It screwed them up. And we talked. I talked about the GOAT, the Major League Baseball GOAT, and my concerns with if I knew that he was going to be able to make it through the rest of the season and be who he is in October, who he is today, then I might go out right now and play some money on the Brewers. That goat being Peralta, as you mentioned, Rob, your buddy Peralta, who is the GOAT, the Major League Baseball GOAT.
How about allowing less than 5 hits per 9 innings? When I saw that number, it's amazing.
54 hits in 117 innings. What?
I'll say this. If Christian Yelich ever came back and hit the way he's supposed to hit, they'd probably win that National League. Because look at what they got out of Adames. And since Escobar's come over, he's been good. But Rowdy Tellez, give me a break. These are guys that have never done anything in their career, Adames and Rowdy Tellez. Yeah. It's usually Yelich and Lorenzo Cain, and they've got nothing out of either one of those guys this year. So if Christian Yelich hits the ball and their offense gets better than mediocre, they're going to be tough.
You know what they say: when you trade for a Miami Marlin, you're probably only going to get
1 year out of them.
Well, you're probably not going to get a year. You're probably going to get shrimp season out of them. That's about it.
How good does that outfield look now? Everybody bragged about Yelich, Stanton, and Ozuna. Where are those 3 guys? Yelich, nowhere. Stanton, nowhere. Ozuna, no injured.
Don't look now, but Atlanta boys. Don't look now, but Atlanta is doing it without any of their 3 outfielders who were the staple of that team. Not a one of them. Not a one. You know why? They got Solar. They have Super Solar.
Yeah, Solar and Adam Duvall, and they did a good job at the break getting those right-handed bats in there. But tell me this: if you, and I don't know if you do, but if you know a beat writer in Atlanta,
I do.
I'd love to know what's up with Freddie Freeman. Upper respiratory infection Saturday night. He leaves the game. Sunday he doesn't play. I'm waiting for this guy to go on the COVID list because it sounds like that to me, but I'm not sure what he has. It ain't good, whatever he has.
I was going to say something, but I'm just not going to say it because I really would be pushing the envelope. But
that's what we do on this show.
I know. But I can't get myself to say this one. You set me up perfectly, but I'm not going to do it. I'm going to say this. It was a song by one of my favorite all-time groups called Little Feat. I don't know if you know who Little Feat is.
Yeah. My brother-in-law loves Little Feat.
Little Feat, I love it. Little Feat. This lead singer of Little Feat, who was with Mothers, and I'm a product of the '60s. And any group named Mothers, they were fantastic too. But long story short, there's a song that Lil George. That's what we're talking about, Lil George.
Oh, there's that name.
Yeah. That does, and it's called
Little Feat.
Little Feat, and this is really the name of the band's Little Feat because they used to make fun of Lil George's size of his feet, which, we could take that another step further too, couldn't we? But we're not going to.
I thought it was little hand.
Yeah, right. But I thought we'd substitute feet in this case.
We're going downhill, John. Help.
Yep. I guess it's time to close.
I feel like Sonny Bono when I see that tree in front of me.
I won't talk about Philly anymore, but I think we'll save it for tomorrow. Zach Wheeler's complete game 2-hitter. And I know it's going to get discounted because it was the Mets, who right now can't hit themselves out of a wet paper bag.
Yeah, you're right. No, the Mets are. Listen, I'll interrupt you, John. What is the futures right now on the Mets winning that division? What is the price on them?
I just said it, guys. I think it was plus 280.
Yeah. Whatever you do, don't waste your money because it ain't happening.
I think I saw plus 280.
That thing could be plus 1,800 million and plus 1 billion divided by half a billion.
Infinity.
It's still not enough. By the way, Spanish Moon. Replace Spanish Moon by Lil George and Little Feat, and you'll know what I mean. And here's the deal. It's I sing it for you, but I don't sing very well. But when he says whiskey and bad cocaine, poison gonna get you just the same. It's a great song, but it's perfect for whatever we were talking about. It describes everything.
I was asking you about Freddie Freeman, and
that's right. Oh, that's it. And I was gonna tell you, he's got the Spanish Moon virus.
All right, so he's gonna be out a while.
Well, just till they gave him some real Pablo and some good Kentucky shit. Not that Kentucky gentleman.
Who, the Colonel?
Well, guys, anything hot over at WagerTalk that you guys have going?
There's hot. A line of hot women touts. We haven't hired it. That Johnny's going to make some decisions on. It'll be a good day.
Okay.
No, hot. I don't know. What do you got? Hot, Rob. I got 2 games. I wanted to play all 5, but I played 2. And I have a 5%er in NFL Week 1, and I have a 5%. I have 3 college football games from Week 1 getting ready to go up. I made my decisions. They're done. They can't miss. The lines can't go bad on us. So I like getting what we're going to get. And one of them 5%er. So I'll have 4 football games up and looking at a possible play for this Thursday night in the NFL. How about that? Yeah,
that's good, man. That is good.
I would say this first and foremost over at WagerTalk. You want to pick up Ralph Michaels' preseason NFL guide, 23 pages. If you haven't had time to do the work yourself,
you're right,
which we can do, but other people can't. Quarterback rotations, head coaches, ATS, some of all the periphery stuff you need to know. Ralph's got in that guide for you. Go ahead.
Rob buys you a free lunch if you can pick up Ralph too.
Ralph works
as
hard
deal.
as anybody. Yeah. He's a good man, and you want to pick that up for free. It's not going to cost you anything over there at WagerTalk. Myself, I got 3 Major League Baseball plays up and available right now, and I'm sitting on a 4th.
Wow.
I think I'm going to wind up having fun. I'm with you, Tone. I liked a lot of this stupid short card today.
I like it.
It looked like there's a lot of openings here tomorrow. I'll be WagerTalk's $2 handicapper, so you can look out for that.
I heard you were going to be on WagerTalk tomorrow.
I am.
Okay.
I am.
And I heard Steve Merrill was hosting.
I think Prez is off tomorrow. Yes, Steve and Teddy.
Okay.
Steve and
stuff.
Teddy. Yeah.
I just did a college show with Teddy. It was fun to do. I always enjoy making Teddy mad.
His serious show.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Well, you know how he knows he has to tell me, Tony, you gotta be tight. You gotta be tight. You gotta be tight. I said no. Okay, I'll be tight, Teddy. I'll be tight. Don't worry. Then I will wander and wander and wander. And he'll
There's a Christmas song called
Tony.
I wonder as I wonder.
Here, Tony? Are you here, Tony?
And
I'm right here, Teddy.
And real quick, also tomorrow, WagerTalk.com, Pac-12 college football preview with myself and Drew Martin. We'll go over
Very
teams
nice.
to fade, teams to bet on, middle of the pack, maybe that are sleepers.
Pac-12?
All Pac-12 information. Yeah, tomorrow.
Pac-12, the best value. Bet on every single week this year. Bet on. You're still going to get value on the line. Save 2 games, and that's the Huskies, in my opinion.
UW.
I like
you
it.
heard it here first.
I like it.
And fade. And if you have a chance and you're within slingshot range, you might want to take the guy that wears the Bruin mascot out.
That's worth considering.
Because I hear he's sleeping with the coach, and if the coach is not in the game, you got a chance, UCLA.
John Ryan, real quick here. Ben Simmons is not involved, but I do have the Sixers Summer League game on this monitor. They're beating the Dallas Mavericks 72-38 in the third.
Wow.
They're up by 34 points.
Say, I guess they don't need them.
Sixers Summer League.
Yeah.
The Dallas squad been at the Spanish Moon. It's a little bar in Memphis, by the way.
And Summer League, for those watching, is in full gear.
I lost my first game. I lost my first game. Remember, we talked about that. You'd been on. I was on
the
Golden
night
State.
Before, yeah.
Yeah, Sacramento. It was in the California Classic. Yeah.
The Kings, but Davion Mitchell looked good.
Oh, are you kidding me? Good. It looks like a polished veteran.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow.
Cash a
Wow,
ticket for me that night of the draft.
I gotta quit dogging.
Well, gentlemen, it's come to that time to say
Baylor.
goodbye for approximately 23 hours.
John?
Until we come back at 4 Eastern Standard Time.
Thanks,
Very
John.
nice.
Thanks for having us.
And, what is it? Rinse and repeat.
Yeah, well, I don't have enough money to buy that Bitcoin. Sorry.
Well, our picks last week would have helped to earn money. Combined on our show, we were 18-7. And for this show, we have the under first 5 with Mr. Veno in the Yankee Royals game. I am on the Royals in the money line, and Mr. Finn is on the over for the game.
I
Royals.
I really am not. Well, I am, but I'm really not. I just wanted to be. I just wanted to have some fun with Rob and bring out an alternative theory.
I like the combination of the two. So
all right, let's do it then. I was going to give you a real.
I think that can happen.
All right,
low
let's do
scoring
that.
first 5, and then the ball starts heading over that fence.
I won't tell you that I think Cincinnati wins by 10 runs tonight. We'll just leave. Let's forget I said that, and let's go. We'll be back tomorrow, bright and early.
All right, bet the Reds. As always, thanks for your time, gentlemen. And on behalf of Rob Veno, Tony Finn, myself, Predictive Playbook, WagerTalk.com, SportsMemo.com. May all the wins be yours. Thanks for watching. We'll see you tomorrow.